dark, powerful, and insatiable. It sneaks into our thoughts, our dreams, intertwining itself around our deepest desires. It convinces us that to feel alive, we must surrender to it. And oh, how tempting that surrender is, how intoxicating it feels to release, to let the flame take over. But lust isn't freedom. It's a chain, binding the soul, weighing down the spirit with empty promises and momentary pleasures. Lust doesn't give, it takes, it consumes, leaving a hollow echo where there was once light. We are more than this, so much more, yet we struggle repeatedly, reaching as if for something beyond reach. We think that feeding this hunger, giving it what it craves, will satisfy it. But lust is never satisfied. It's a beast, consuming and demanding more, always more. It lures us with the illusion of fulfillment, but it's nothing more than a mirage, an empty promise. Still, there's beauty in this struggle, in the battle between light and darkness within us. It reminds us we're not just flesh and blood, we're something greater, something capable of resisting, of choosing not to be enslaved by impulses. There's beauty in resistance, power in saying no to the voice that insists we're nothing more than our desires. There's a difference between being consumed by lust and seeing it for what it is, a passing shadow. For the heart knows that lust can't truly fill the void within us. Lust is fleeting, a brief spark in the darkness, leaving only emptiness when the light fades. And when it fades, we stand alone in the void it leaves, searching for something more, something real. We must recognize lust as it is, a thief stealing focus, energy, and purpose. It doesn't build, it destroys. It doesn't fill, it empties. It doesn't nourish, it starves, leaving us hollow if we're not vigilant. But the hollow is not our fate. We are not destined to be consumed by it. There's always a way forward. This battle requires vigilance, mindfulness, and courage to face our darker sides. But in that battle lies transformation. Each time we resist the pull of lust, each time we turn away from its seductive whispers that tell us we need this to feel alive, we reclaim a part of ourselves, we grow, we evolve, and in that evolution, we find a peace deeper than anything lust could offer. We live in a world that celebrates indulgence, that encourages giving in to every desire, as if our value lies in our capacity to consume and be consumed. But that's not true. Life is more than the pursuit of pleasure. We are more than fleeting thrills. We must cultivate the wisdom to see beyond the moment, beyond the desires that burn within us. We must learn to sit with discomfort, to face the fire without letting it consume us. For within discomfort, there is growth. In the stillness, in the space between desire and action, we can find clarity. We can find strength. In that quiet space, we begin to understand ourselves not as creatures of lust, but beings capable of love, creation, and depth. The fire of lust need not be extinguished, for it is part of what makes us human. But it can be transformed, harnessed, and redirected. It can be a force for connection, not destruction. There is sacredness in this struggle, meaning in this fight. The battle between who we are and who we wish to become, between momentary satisfaction and the lasting fulfillment of a purposeful life. Each time we resist, each time we choose not to give in, we grow stronger. We reclaim our power. Do not fear the darkness within. It's in the darkness that seeds of transformation are planted. Do not fear your desires, for they are part of you. But don't be ruled by them. Don't let them define you. You are more than cravings and urges. You are a being of light and shadow, of fire and stillness. Within you lies a balance waiting to be found. This struggle is not a burden. It's a gift, a doorway to self-understanding and mastery over oneself, a path to freedom, a life where desires don't rule us, but we rule them, where we look at our inner fire and see not a thing to fear, but to respect, something that can warm, guide, and light our way. but let it rage unchecked, and it will consume everything in its path. So we must walk carefully, consciously, with reverence for this power within. We must see it not as an enemy, but as a force capable of either destroying or creating, depending on how we wield it. And we must choose again and again to wield it wisely, to resist lust's empty promises and seek something deeper, something true. The struggle with lust isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's the recognition that we are more than the sum of our desires, that we can rise above them. And in that rising, we find ourselves. In that rising, we become whole. This is not the end of the battle. It never is. But each day we stand, fight, resist, is a victory. Each day we refuse to be consumed by the fire is a step toward becoming who we were meant to be. And in that becoming, we find our freedom.